Right, here we are then. We are back for another episode of the Retro Can I Beat the Pole Lap series. We go back to the 2006 Brazilian Grand Prix, and this man, Felipe Massa, bags pole on home turf, which was a really special occasion and really meant a lot to him. You know, Rubens, of course, was in Ferrari for many years before Massa arrived, and it was almost like he was a bit jinxed at Brazil. It never really worked out for him, and you know, off the back of Senna, of course, passing away, they really wanted a home star on, you know, home turf pole, and Massa did that in 2006. So 1 minute 10.6 was his pole time, and today we are setting out to try and beat it. Now, that weekend, of course, iconic for many reasons. Alonso winning his second championship consecutively, Michael Schumacher's final race in Formula 1 until his return, of course, in 2010. And yeah, just generally a lot went down, but Massa all weekend long, pole to race win conversion, absolutely slick. Now, we're going to jump into our first lap attempt here. So guys, if you're going to enjoy the video, leave a like and let's get stuck in. Very bumpy track, by the way, as we get, wow, turn one, horribly wrong. I've actually stayed out, but I'm going to already just move that brake bias back a little bit. We'll go to 54 and just see how that behaves. And we'll try again. Right, lap one, inverted commas. Still some front locking there, but this time we do get the nose into the corner. Oh my god, the understeer there through the center S as we now go flat through turn 3. We are going to have to dial this car in a little bit and get it in the optimal window. Turn 4. Third gear. Can still lock up into there, which is insane. Nice and tidy. Little accidental double upshift there as I hit the bump and the force feedback, and I just tap the paddle twice through the double right-hander, trying to find the right gear as we now head into the slow bit through the middle sector and the middle of the lap. That was nice through there, staying nice and tight, just having to watch the traction, even with traction control. This second hairpin, lots of understeer if you don't get it right into the camber. Flat out through this downhill. Downshift warning as we head through the last braking corner of the lap, and now we just floor it up the hill and let the Ferrari V8 roar all the way to the start finish line. We're going to stay a little bit off the pit entry to see if we can avoid that bump on the left. 1 minute 10.6 to beat, and it's a 1:14.1, so actually that looked a lot worse than what it was pace wise. So let's make some adjustments and see what we can find. Now, first things first, the gearbox is way too long for Brazil. 353 top speed is ridiculous. We'll do 326 for now. We might go down again by 1. For the tyres, we're on mediums. I'll stick with those for another run. I'm happy to do that. For the fuel, already we are actually under the fuel that we need because Massa boxed lap 23 in the race, and back in 2006 cars would start the race on their qualifying fuel. So we actually are going to have to up the fuel, which is interesting. I'll do that in a bit once we get the setup dialed in, but we need to put another 5-6 laps, because even though Massa boxed lap 23, there was a safety car which allows you to extend your stint a bit, so we'll bear that in mind. Anyway, wing, this is where we need to really make a bit of an indent, so we're going to put the wing up by quite a bit on the front. We'll match it up on the rear and see. Actually, I'll go one more and we'll see how that goes in principle. Elsewhere, for the camber, we'll just bring this up a little bit to 3.2 on the front. I'll do the same on the rear. We'll put it on like 2.2 on the rear. And really, other than that, ride height is interesting because we seem to be scraping. I'm going to put the bars on 55 for now. I might just put the brake power on 99 to try and limit those lockups a little bit. And I'll actually up the engine limiter a little bit to try and rev this V8 out a little bit. But yeah, this is interesting. I will actually drop the roll bar on the rear and the front quite a bit, and I'll up the wheel rate on the front end a little. But the ride height is already very low on the front, so I might just raise it a touch, and I might actually just drop it on the rear, and we'll see if this helps a little bit with the car balance and the scraping. So let's give these adjustments a go. We've got a few more other things here to tweak, but for now, this will do. Right, first off, let's see how this gearbox looks for top speed. Also keen to see the gearing. The car feels a bit strange on the outlap, like we're bottoming out and the car's sliding, so we might spin around here straight away. Yeah, wow, we're fighting the car all the way here. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Something's off. Now, I've been trying a few things and I can't seem to find a solution. I'm a little bit lost, so I'm going to basically start from square one, and instead of making a lot of big changes at once, we're going to do small changes. So for this one, gearbox, wing, and brakes, basically. Right, let's see if this change of approach works. So a very similar setup to before, just basically changing my wing profile and of course the gearbox. That alone though will make a big difference. Also of course a bit more engine mode, engine power. Let's see. I'm keen to also try and figure out the brakes, which are going to be quite interesting. Turn one. That felt pretty nice. Car turns in reasonably well. Nice bit of grip on the front there. Through turn two, bit of a bottom out slide there through three. So we lose our advantage, which isn't great. So we're going to be down in sector one. Tidy through turn four. We do recover a bit of time, but it's not a lot as we head up through five and now into six and seven. Or understeer an entry and then followed by just snappy oversteer. That's a corner cut, but quite a lot of grip actually in the low speed. Can really feel decent mechanical grip working. The second hairpin, of course, last time round wide. Let's keep it tight, which we do. Bit of a slide, traction control, not exactly bailing me out. As we get a downshift warning through the last corner. Well, it's going to be a small improvement, but it's not the best lap though. I mean, we cut the hairpin. And in the end, we're actually not even going to improve at all, I don't think. Just. Only just. I mean, it felt a lot better. But the drivability doesn't feel great. Track feels very bumpy. Now, this one seems to be a bit more of a challenge. So we're going to try and again get it dialed in. So the gearbox, I will drop by one. For the tyres, I will try the softs now to see what that gives us in terms of pace. I'm going to put the fuel up to what it should be. So in this case, we're going to do 23 laps exactly, which is what Massa did. He boxed on lap 23. And then other adjustments, engine brake. I'm going to put a bit of engine brake on. Aero, this is what I was running just now. Because of the soft tyre factor, I'm going to go down a little bit on all three. And then really, this is where we have to get a bit creative and find the balance. I think the alignment will be fine to adjust with, so I'm going to put some camber on. Dampers, we might have to dabble with those because of the bumpiness of the track. Bias, I'm going to go with 92 brake power. I think that could work okay. We've got 101 engine limiter. I'll go 102 and stick with that for the time being because that'll burn more fuel. Heave dampers, and then we've got suspensions. This is where I think the issue was before, and it's not what I would traditionally do to make it work. I'm going to try one thing only. I'm going to basically try and up the ride height. I feel like the car's bumping and scraping too much, so I want to just get it off the ground a little bit and see how that works. I'll be keen to see if the soft tyres can actually hang on. I wonder if the softs are going to hold on or if they're going to overheat. Either way, let's get stuck in and let's give this another go. Right, just about balancing off the limiter, that's good. I actually put my bias back up to 55 on the front. Bit more. Good center S. That felt pretty nice. We're not going to keep it as tight through turn 3 to just avoid bumps and keep the car facing the right way. And that's already a 3/10 gain. Turn 4. Tricky to find the turning point there, but we do okay. Even though we missed the apex, we're now 4/10 up. Right. Trying to step a bit tighter through here. Trying to find the right gear as well. We found lots of grip through here last time, back end just locking up a little bit, but we take it in our stride. Good run through the hairpins so far. Oh, missed the gear, missed the downshift, took it in third. That's going to hurt a little bit. Bit of a slide, but we have to catch it twice. This car feels like a bit of a death trap at the minute. Good last corner. We should gain time to the line, I think, with our lower wings. Maybe not. I guess we're going to find out. Looks pretty even so far. Avoid the bumps. And that's going to be our 1:13.5. So we are within 3/10 of Massa's time, but the softs didn't really gain us that much. Right, I'm going to try just a couple of changes here. So what I've done is as follows. I've kind of reset the wing back to square one. We have a 5-degree offset from the front to the rear. And I'm counterbalancing that with one simple adjustment. I've basically softened the roll bar on the front and the rear. That's all. What I'll add to that is a little bit of front wheel rate. But I just want to see if we can keep the car stable. Right then, the car feels understeery, but it feels quite a bit more stable. So that might have to be the trade-off for the compromise we search for to try and find optimal performance. Right, here we go. Let's see how this works. Big lock up into turn one. That's already the lap in the bin. Right, we're going to try and actually make turn one this time. Let's see. Try and spot the braking. I want to try third gear just to see how that translates and how that feels. I need to get more of that curb though through turn two because of the extra understeer. Right, we're going to basically match our first sector. Let's see what we do elsewhere. Downshift warning. We do hit our apex for turn 4. Apex was good, but the exit not so much. Can't avoid that bump there. Through the double right. Trying to stay tight. Power back down in 5th gear. That was nice. Into the hairpin. Going to use 3rd gear. We've got quite a short 3rd. 2nd hairpin. This time we do get 2nd gear hooked up. Tidy exit as we head through the downhill. Final corner. Get our apex nice and tidy there. We're going to gain from the exit. And that was a decent lap. That was a tidy lap, to be fair. That was a lot better than what we've done. So actually, scaling it back has worked quite well. Now we can take a tighter line. And that will just get us into the 112s. I mean, we're still an absolute country fortnight away, but whatever that expression was, we're still nowhere near pole. Nah. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Right, I've tried a different version of the track. I'm not convinced about the car's handling. The lap times haven't changed. It still feels sketchy, so it's not the track. I have another version of this car, so let me give that a go. Now with this one, I have a different car model. I also don't have Felipe's helmet for this one, but it feels better. Interestingly, a slow opener. Very slow, but it felt pretty good. Oh, lap 2 has gone pretty well. We've found a decent bit of time. Let's see. We'll keep building. And lap 3 is going to be even better. So it does seem 2 different track variants, 2 different car variants, more or less is similar, but this does feel a lot nicer, a lot more accomplished. I'll keep digging though and seeing what I can do. I've hit a bit of a wall again. Whenever I make setup changes, it's going the wrong way. This does feel a lot better though, even though the lap time is basically the same. So this episode is a bit of a mystery to me. I feel like I might redo it. It's a weird one. I want to try and just get one good lap that I'm really happy with though. That could have been the lap, to be fair. Bit deep into that corner, messed it up. think I might be done. I've tried a million different things. There was a bit of time there at the last corner, but I'm really unable of putting a full lap together. I haven't even bothered probably putting in all the cuts of mistakes because there's been that many between the two tracks, between the two cars. It's been a lot. This is going to be one that I'm going to revisit, but I need to work on this one for some reason specifically to really iron out the nooks and crannies. You know, when I did a quick test to make sure everything was fine, it seemed okay in principle, but then when it really got down to it, it didn't seem great. So the first mod I'll leave link down below for the car, but this one is my own personal project, an old mod that doesn't exist anymore that I'm working on. So I prefer how this feels. This was the better car. Either way, even though this mod doesn't exist, it's actually very old. This mod is, I want to say, nearly 10 years old, and I've basically tried to repurpose this and put some other things mixed in. It's like a bit of a hybrid of many mods to try and make this car to work. But yeah, setup, I ran what I ran. You know, it's partly irrelevant because you won't have access to this model, so I'm not happy with releasing it because it's a mixture of many mods I can't give credit to and don't exist. If the final product's good at some point, I might release it in the future, but for now, yeah. I tried everything basically with both cars to find something that would work, and all these settings were basically it. But there we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed a very weird video, a very weird episode, and I will announce now, we're getting to that point where I've kind of done most of the retro pole laps. There's a few that I still haven't done, don't get me wrong, but there's a few now that are starting to stack up that I really want to do again because mods improve, mods change. I can work on a few mods myself or get some extra mods to try and make them work better. So there might be like a re-attempt mini-series, or I might do a few re-attempts within this same series, so stay tuned. Let me know which ones you want to see me try and do again, if you remember which ones we have not completed successfully. But in the meantime, I appreciate a like, subscribe for more, guys. As always, a massive shout out to the channel members for supporting all the content. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Ciao, ciao.